Shalom, my name is Yehoshua Ya'acov, and this is being made from Jerusalem. It's a commentary on the video for Janesville, Wisconsin, at the plant that Barak visited back in February of 2008. It's featured in the website regarding the economic plan. It has a very impressive articulation, and it speaks specifically to the phases of transition from going from tractors to cars or vice versa, and the product line changing, and every change having transitions and their effects on the community. I want to speak to that. The macroeconomic plan that will become under President Obama's administration, new national platform development, will have a complexity and daunting compared to the transitions at the communal level. We have now, and we face, a fundamental transformation, a structural and fundamental transformation of the entire U.S. economy as we're moving from the industrial model, which is the division of labor, to the new economic paradigm model, which is the integration of labor. How do I know this? Because I'm the author. The framework in which this will occur, historically, globally, is Humanomics. I'm not going to go into the esoterics. I'm going to focus exclusively on the new economic paradigm and to say what's involved here. Specifically, the new economic paradigm, the DNC will be asked to table in its platform committee that the campaign for president by the party's nominee, will be based upon the new economic paradigm. That the president, when elected, will seek a mandate from the Congress of the United States in law to build a world-class global technologic infrastructure. Now, I noticed in the materials in your website, I read them carefully about the economic plan. There's a talk and emphasis about rebuilding and restoring infrastructure. That's physical infrastructure. The infrastructure that is going to make America the most competitive economy for the century ahead and beyond is a world-class global technologic infrastructure, and only one that devolves and derives from the new economic paradigm, for reasons of complexity beyond this video. But that said, the Obama administration will seek a mandate to build, develop, and cultivate such a world-class global technological infrastructure. Why? This is what has to be done to lead and bring the transitions of the entire economy, and it's of enormous complexity, from a 14 trillion gross domestic product to a 45 to 50 trillion, or a tripling over the next 20 years. Having said that, it will require a $4 to $5 trillion investment, which will be amortized over 20 years. 60% of that investment will come from the G9 as strategic partners. But the project it's like a Hoover Dam. It's massive, it's big, it's very complex. It will make America the most competitive economy in the world. But not only will it triple the gross domestic product, it will as well eliminate entirely the national debt. It will also eliminate the Social Security deficit. It will provide for national insurance from cradle to grave. It will provide for free education for all Americans on every level, from kindergarten to special ed to postgraduate studies. Anyone who wants an education can receive it, and virtually free. Secondly, and thirdly, and fourthly, it will eliminate the trade deficit. It will triple, it will double in years 5 through 7, and through years 14 through 17, it will triple the purchasing power of the dollar. It is a win-win situation. By the end of the first year, the project will be creating, by the end of year one, tens of thousands of sustainable domestic content jobs a month, continuing through years 11 and 12 until we reach full employment, not defined by 4%. Most economists call 4% unemployment. Full employment, no. A redefined time series will define unemployment. Full employment is 0, 0, 0. Anyone and everyone who wants a job will receive one. When we reach full employment in the years 11 and 12, we will then be training, developing and employing via the world-class Global Technologic Infrastructure, G9, and also raising up the LDCs and bringing them into participation so that they can overcome illiteracy, famine, disease, etc., and achieve a sustainable food supply. These are the goals of the project. Now, significantly, the greatest, I think, inequity that America and Americans have faced is the tremendous discrepancy and disparity between Wall Street and Main Street, the institutions, the capital owners. The GDP went from 8 or 9 trillion up to 14 trillion, and we saw a tremendous increase in the percentage share of capital ownership, institutional, and a decreasing in flat share of the labor, the workers in the labor force of the country. I agree with Senator Obama that a very vibrant, strong, deep and broad middle class in America is a very sound macroeconomic policy. So Humanomics will ensure that that it's delivered and provide upward mobility to the lower echelons to reach the middle class with ladders of opportunity, education, access to education, and student loans, and not student loans. Education will be free. The global technologic infrastructure I'm referring to will create a there'll be massive surpluses that will derive from it in the out years from 15 to 20. There will be trillions of dollars of surpluses after it's pretty much all paid down the national debt. That said, the opportunities that will derive from the new economic paradigm are very, very formidable and significant. This is a win-win situation for Americans. This is the macroeconomic plan, the transition. In this context, you have to multiply by 1 million or 1 billion from a plant in Janesville to the transition of an entire economy. But that's where we're going. We're going to retool, retrain, and re-educate the entire workforce. And it's going to involve the transition of 3 or 4 or 5 generations to be complete. That said, we need the world-class science and technology. I'm the author of the trilogy Humanomics. It's 2,500 pages with a couple hundred graphics. It will be published on the web. It's in its 5th draft. But the new economic paradigm is estimated to be a multi-hundred billion-dollar intellectual property. It will be placed in irrevocable trust for the American workers, so that they will be able to be raised up. All the boats will raise up. With the reins, all the boats are raised. They will participate, and they will have an equal footing with capital owners, so that the share of the gross domestic product, as we move from 14 to 28 to 42 to 45 to 50 trillion, there will be a fair and a just distribution of the national wealth, and not the extremes and manipulations and exploitations, where you have investors creating jobs and owning what they invest and create in order to exploit the result on both ends. These abuses in the guise of democracy are now history, and we look forward to them being ended. Anyway, again, thank you for listening. I'm Yehoshua Ya'acov. It was a good speech. Barak, now Humanomics in general, and the new economic paradigm in particular, that's the policy and program for the future of Americans. I thank you for listening, and we bless you, Barak, and your family, and all in Janesville and in Wisconsin. Thank you for listening. I'm Yehoshua Ya'acov from Jerusalem. Shalom.